the European Parliament, although most of the time we meet in Brussels, which is where the Commission is and the Council, the bodies we have to keep an eye on and work with, 1 week a month we all have to move to Strasbourg and have our parliamentary sitting there. It's a bit as if the House of Commons had to move 1 week a month from London to Edinburgh. It's crazy. However, that's not the decision of the European Parliament. We'd love to end that, believe me. The decision on the seats of the institutions of the European Union, that decision belongs to the governments of the member countries. We can't decide our own seat. And the 27 countries agreed among themselves, actually when they were fewer than 27, because it was back in 1992 at a summit in Edinburgh chaired by John Major, if you remember him. They agreed then that the European Parliament must go 1 week a month to Strasbourg. Why? Why Strasbourg? Strasbourg is supposed to be a symbol in Europe. If you go back to why we started to create the European Union, came about after the Second World War, when people said we've got to find a better way of running our continent than having wars almost every generation. And Strasbourg was a symbol of reconciliation, because it had been a German town originally, then it had been French, then it had been German, then it had been French, each time fought over bitterly. And now it's a symbol where there's the Parliament and we settle our differences by debate and by argument across a debating chamber and not by fighting each other. Powerful symbol. You can understand why originally they said, oh, let's have the Parliament based there. But nowadays, for the very reasons you mentioned, it doesn't make sense, and I'd like to see that changed. But it needs the unanimous agreement of every country. It's one of these issues where every country has a veto. And in Britain, we like to, some people say, oh, we must keep the veto. We must have unanimous decision-taking on everything in case they take a decision that we don't like against our vote. But the other side of the coin is that if you have a veto, so does everyone else. And on this, the French government has a veto, and they can block a change to that situation. It doesn't stop us campaigning for change, though.